Hey everybody, Dobby here with another Stratego game analysis. This is going to be a real quick game. This is a game from my archives when I was just starting and I was a beginner. And you can see this setup. Well, maybe pause the video since this is a short video. Pause the video and see what's terribly wrong with this setup. Okay, first, you really don't want to have minors up front. Man, I have 3 minors up front, so that's not really good. But the main thing that's wrong is this column here and back row. If this is a major, I'm in serious trouble. He could come down here and wipe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. And you're going to lose a lot of games if you let a major come down and wipe out all these pieces. And I think that's where I got my idea for the 3 major attack strategy, which is really a gimmick. It's just to show players how to play from behind. You really don't want to use a 3 major attack. Maybe 1 major, 2 if you're playing a weaker opponent. But a 3 major attack is not a good idea. That's too hard to beat good players. But anyway, that's what makes this setup just awful. That's awful. So yeah, we didn't know how to do setups, and then 5 years later, or 6 years later, I still don't know how to do good setups. But anyway, let's watch this game. This game was fun. I like here the Major Marshall spy trap. I like to roll it out instead of having the major here and the spy here at the start. I'll move this up, move the major over, move the spy up, and that used to catch a lot of beginners. And this is very dangerous here, having a colonel and general with the spy over here. This is, if they come in lotto, you really want to move these pieces so you have some escape lanes. And then you better know the 2 square rule so you don't get caught. Yeah, this is a really dangerous, terrible setup. But anyway, let's start the game. I posted this before on the forum, but I never commented on it. So we find a sergeant. And this player, let's go back. This player, he was okay. And I looked him up, and he played several thousand games since this. I think this game was played in 2014 or maybe 2000. Yeah, it probably was 2014 or 2015. This player's played thousands and thousands of games since then. And I think he's made it up to at least a gold general. Might have been higher, but I think the last time I checked, he was a gold general. So, out of all the games he played, this is probably the worst game he's ever played, and we'll see why in a minute. So you can see he was a little rusty too, bringing up scouting with a minor. That's never really a good idea. Like, we're both beginners here. Okay, so now, if you watch my channel and you watch me play, I always love to bluff no matter what. So, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to try to move up with my minor so he comes back over and maybe we can get him with the captain. I bluff too much, but I love bluffing. But see, I didn't push it here. So this might have been one of the first games I started to record. I didn't record early, so this might have been 2015, but that's still a long time ago. I didn't record my early games. So now he knows my captain. And I always like to open up the whole front row, especially when I had my colonels up here. I used to always attack with my colonels, and I always like to have escape lanes for my colonels, because you really don't want to lose your colonels. So now we're pushing this lieutenant. He's scared. Now my goal here, I really wanted to see maybe what this is. You know, the goal I always want to do is try to find the marshal at the start of the game. But this might be a major. I just want to know what this is, because if it is a marshal, you know, I have to start moving these pieces out and getting ready to protect my colonel and general. So this could be a really good piece here. But it just might be a colonel or major who wants to get the captain. So I chase his lieutenant back. Now I decide, well, it just might be a major, so it probably wasn't worthwhile hitting. Right? If he comes down with a major, I can get him with the colonel. But then I decided to go here and maybe hit a bomb and then get taken by a sergeant. So, because I hardly ever find, it seems like when I hardly ever play against someone that has a flag in the corner. They almost always have it here, either 4 from the left or 4 from the right. So, but anyway, we decided to go down. Since we have a miner, we might as well go down, because I'm afraid he might hit me and change his mind. So I decide to hit this, and then, you know, if it's a bomb, at least I get one of his bombs. And now I know one of his bombs. I'm happy. And I'm thinking, well, sergeant's going to hit me here, or sergeant's going to hit me here. So he comes down, I guess, with his major. And wow. Wow. That was unexpected. So I'm thinking, wow, yeah, that was a quick win. And I'm thinking this might be the fastest win of a bombed-in flag on the back row. It only took me 15 moves to get a bombed in. Well, I don't know if this was a bomb, so, you know, this might not be a bomb, but the chances are it probably was. But so this was just a terrible, terrible, terrible blunder on my opponent's part. You know, I bluffed him, and he probably thought this was at least a captain, and he figured the captain would hit a bomb, and or else he had his lieutenant covered, so he figured he was safe. But, and also you don't really expect you don't really expect the miner to be here. Most of the miners usually should have 3 or 4 miners in the back row and maybe 1 centralized. I like to have maybe 3 in the back row, 1 on the second row, and then one either behind the lake or somewhere in the center. So if they block off one side, you don't have to move a lot of pieces to open it up. But yeah, this was pretty amazing. You know, we did the bluff. That was a great bluff of the miner. So here's another miner bluff, but this is one with 39 pieces left. And this was a great game. I actually had another game, but probably wasn't as fast, where I did it on the other side and got a flag in the corner with a miner bluff, and that probably was about 20 moves. So you can actually win some games quickly. But yeah, this was a shocker, and he really has to hit with this piece. Maybe he didn't want to do that because a lot of beginners, when we first all start out, you never want to go behind, even if it's a lieutenant or a captain. You know, a lot of players just never wanted to go. When I first started to play, I never wanted to go behind because most players don't know how to play from behind. But I think he just thought this was a captain, and he thought I was going to run into a bomb, or I would take the lieutenant, and then one of these pieces would take it. But apparently this was either a scout, or maybe he had bomb or bomb spy, and maybe this was a general. I'm not sure because he didn't take it when I went by. So, when I went here, he didn't take me. So this might be, maybe he thought this was my marshal, and if this was his general and this was a spy, I don't know. It was just a weird game. Quick, you get the bomb. And he was a really good sport about it. I probably would have quit or maybe disconnected, saying, "Oh man, you got me, son of a gun." But yeah, so that was a 2-minute game, and only took me 15 moves to get a possible bombed-in flag on the back row. That's one of my I think one of my top 5 games. I really enjoyed that, and I'm glad he let me see the flag. That was a good sport on his part. I wish more players were like him. All right, so the sad news is the Stratego site is going to be closing apparently at the end of December. So if you love the game, you better play as much as you can between now and December. That's a shame because I love the graphics. The graphics were just so well done, and it is. It does have some glitches, the site, but it is fun to play at Stratego.com. But they are going to shut down, apparently. They decided not to see, because the problem is their site was done with Adobe Flash, and Adobe Flash is not going to be supported by browsers next year. So they decided to shut it down. So that's a shame. But you can play on another site called Gravon, and I'll put a link eventually on all my videos, so you can go ahead to Gravon and play. But the problem with that site is the user interface is not so nice. It's a little more complicated to learn, and I don't like the graphics so much. But you can play there. There are really some good players that play there. So I guess if you get used to it, it's not so bad. But I prefer playing on Stratego.com. And it's a shame, but I guess all good things must eventually come to an end. So anyway, thanks for watching this game. And remember, if you're in this position here, he has to hit this just in case it is a minor, because he would lose the game. He has to know that this piece can't stop a minor. So he definitely had to hit me with his lieutenant. So yeah, this is probably his worst game ever. And yeah, this definitely was a shocker. So all right, thanks for watching. We'll work on some more videos. Bye for now.